Greetings and welcome to another one of our Homeschooling Daddies videos. This is Joseph speaking, and today our video is going to be about our August 2014 homeschool haul. And I like to start off with books that we found at our local library. And at our local library we have they have a section where they sell old books or books that have been donated but they cannot use anymore, and they can range in price anywhere from 10 cents to on up to $1. But most of these books I got today were either 10 cents or 25 cents or 50 cents. The bigger hardback books are 50 cents, and they're cheaper as they get smaller and thinner. So let's get started. The first one I got was a social studies book called America Will Be. I believe it's probably a middle school social studies book. So basically what we'll do is we'll probably just go ahead and use it as a reference for our studies, for our curriculum as we go along. The next one is called African Journey, which is a book that tells the story of children in Africa. Sort of like a day in the life type book. And then there's the Swan Stories, which is a collection of Hans Christian Andersen stories. So I actually never had a chance to read these as a child, so it's gonna be interesting and a lot of fun to actually learn them through my child's eyes. Here when we study about Germany and World War II, we have Hidden Child, which is a story about a child who was in a concentration camp. Right here we have a story about volcanoes for our science curriculum. And then since we live in the state of Washington, we have this book which has really great photography in it of different spots in Washington state. And hopefully we will want to combine this book study with actual field trips to these locations within the state, since most of them are no longer than a 3 to 4 hour drive away. So pretty awesome. Then right here we have a story about polar bears called The Last Polar Bear. And then finally a book on the Clintons, a story in photographs, which we're going to be teaching him all about all the presidents. So this is a great reference for him learning about the Clintons. And then over here in this pile we have the Boston Tea Party. We have A House for a Hermit Crab. Our son actually has almost all his books, so when I see one that he doesn't have, I pick it up for him. But yeah, he almost has a whole collection. A book on Walt Whitman, If You Lived at That Time book. Christopher Columbus. And then this book is Rancho La Brea, Death Trap and Treasure Cove. This is about the tar pits that have housed thousands and thousands of fossils in the LA County area. So we'll probably actually take a field trip there someday. And then a book about tigers. And then I saw this book from another homeschooling mom called Math for All Season, and they're basically little riddles and poem type things to help children learn math better. And when I saw it, that one homeschooling parent had it, I was like, I have to find those. And then our son's been asking about mummies lately, so we found this book out of luck called Life in Ancient Egypt. It's a coloring book, but it gives great info on what they're doing, how they did it, and also talks about mummies. And then our son has a fascination for wolves, so we got him this. And when we learn about different animals, so this would come in as a handy reference for when we learn about wolves. And then our son also has a fascination with dinosaurs, so this talks about the different land and sea dinosaurs. And then to go along with the Hans Christian Andersen stories, we have Grimm's Fairy Tales, which is also another one I technically never read as a child. So again, it's going to be wonderful to see being told and see how my son reacts to it. Well, I learned them for the first time too. Of course, living in technology age, and growing up with television and movies, we see that version. But as far as the literal version of it, I've never read it. And then since my husband and I are both Mexican, we have the Day of the Dead, celebration of life and death, to tell about Dia los Muertos, and also Mexicans in America. And then over here we have a story on New York, because we will be taking a field trip within the next couple of years to New York. So we're going to start learning about different aspects of New York and what we'll like to visit while we're there. Here we have a book about the Incas and their past. And also I just want to point out, since we are a secular homeschooling family, group, school, whatever, we are not teaching anything of a religious nature. But my husband and I, we were raised Christian. We were raised both Roman Catholic. And but since becoming adults and learning and becoming a free thinker and open-minded and all that, we still consider ourselves religious and spiritual. And we're starting a journey through to learn about Judaism. Whereas my son, we're not going to force him into any religion, so we're going to be teaching him, about, the Christian side, but we're also going to teach him about the Judaism side, so that way when he's older, he can decide what he wants to believe in, what he wants to study, and so forth. It's like we're not going to force him into it the way my husband and I were forced into it as kids. So for his Judaism studies, we found this book on Hanukkah that tells the story of Hanukkah and how it came to be. And finally, we found this book about our continent, A Natural History of North America, which gives great information on everything that is natural related to our country from the very beginning of time, from dinosaurs to now, or at least to whenever this book was written. So anyway, so that was our library haul. Again, everything here was anywhere between 10 cents and $1. So they have some really good deals, and I try to get there as often as I can to see what I can find that we can use within our curriculum for this year and maybe the next couple years. So anyway, so I'm going to stop this right here and go on to our next haul for our next store. Thanks. Alrighty. Well, this is our second bunch of books that we got, and I actually found it off of Craigslist. There was another homeschooling parent that was giving them away for free, so I was first to contact her, so I walked away with them. Yay me! So the first book is about Rosa Parks, and that's good because we're going to be teaching our son about Rosa Parks, and because he is biracial, so we want to teach him more about his African American roots than what they would have in public school. And then also another book is called Fossil's Tale of Long Ago. And then The Little Drummer Boy, which is cool because it's a mixture of a story and the song of The Little Drummer Boy. And then this is Glittering Galaxies, A Trip Through the Stars. So it's a fun little book to read. The Block Party, and then this is a girlhood journey, which is about a girl's journey through an African village. This is Biscuit Finds Friend, and of course this is another one like the Eric Carlisle books that my son has almost all the books, even though this is a little too juvenile for him because he's a little bit more advanced than this, but this is one he doesn't have, so it's kind of cool. And then a book on Helen Keller. And then this book I thought was really neat. Again, we can use as a reference material, but I actually remember using it as a kid in the 1970s when I was in elementary school. And so, as you can tell, the pictures are pretty old looking, like here about the Panama Canal. But again, it can still be used as a great source of reference for when we study different parts of the world. And then another book called He Wakes Me. And then Big Brown Bear. Anna Banana, 101 Jump Rope Rhymes. So when we study rhyming and poems and all that, this would be a great source to use in our curriculum. The Hungry Duckling. Franklin is Lost. A Visit to Grandma's. Mr. Sniff and the Motel Mystery. The Puppy Who Wanted a Boy. And then right here we have Treasury of Literature. Now this actually is a school book by Harcourt. And of course it's torn there. But it has like different things you can do. It has like different stories that you can read. And so I would say this is probably like first or second grade maybe. But it has a lot of other different fun things to do. Like here I marked, it's like it has a page on how to make peanut butter balls. So it's like little fun things to do with your kids too, that correlates with whatever they may be reading. Like this one is In My Mother's House. And so, oh no, this is peanut butter, apple butter, cinnamon toast. So this is the story here, and it kind of correlates to the peanut butter ball making project. And then finally, The Bunny of Bluebell Hill. So we'll probably read this around Easter time. So, alright, well that's our second haul, our second set of books. So let me set the table for the next. Alright, and then this is our final haul of books. And this we got a combination from Value Village, which is a thrift store here in the Northwest, and also a couple books from Amazon. But first, let's start with the books from Value Village. And of course, each of these books were 69 cents, and then after every 4 books, you get one free. So this first one is a collection of postcards, actually, of national parks. And somewhere between his second grade year now and 6th grade, we're going to be taking 2 field trips. And we're going to be traveling to Yosemite and also to Yellowstone parks. So this has some pictures of those parks in here along with other national parks. So it's a great little tool for him to get ready to actually realize what is actually in those parks instead of swing sets and slides and splash pads. And then we have Columbus Discovers America, which is a coloring book. And not only is it a coloring book, but it's a great source of information. It tells a little bit about what's going on and a little bit of the history behind it. And then since we live in Lewis and Clark country, I found this one called the Lewis and Clark Expedition, which is also a coloring book. It tells about their journey through the Northwest. And again, it has a great source of information. So looking forward to working with him on that. And also probably taking some field trips to the Lewis and Clark Museum here. It's really cool to live up here in this country where we can do things like that. And then I found this language arts book for 3rd grade. And what I'll probably do, I'll probably save it for him for next summer. It's by Harcourt. And it's brand new. It was never used. And so, yeah, so I'll probably use it for next summer for him. And it's sort of like, going into 3rd grade where you can see what he's going to be learning. And then this is 100 words kids need to read by 3rd grade. And I'll probably use this year for his curriculum. I have one for 2nd grade that I'm using, but I'm also probably going to use this one too to help him learn new words that will help him advance and succeed for his 3rd grade coursework. And then right here is Multiplication Facts Made Easy by School Zone for grades 3 to 4. And again, brand new, never used, and only for 69 cents. You can't beat that. And then for our science curriculum, we have Magnets and Batteries by Let's Explore Science. Right here by National Geographic Kids, Everything Ancient Egypt, since my son's curious about mummies now in Egypt. That's a great source of information. We have Eyes on Adventure, Exploring Earth and Beyond, which is, again, we use as a resource material when we learn about different topics in the science curriculum area. And then we found this really cool book. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a hologram. here about bugs, and what's really cool inside, it has like these little pouches where you can keep things, but it has like the different topics. I don't know if you can see them that they cover. I'll just slowly go through them. So I wish I had found this book at the beginning of summer, because all summer long my son's been bringing bugs into the house, so that would have came in handy. So, and then we have this Explore It about volcanoes, and it includes pop-ups, moving tabs, and flaps. So it's a really cool book and great source of information, and it has like all these flaps and things that has information in them. And let's see what else. Yeah, so it's again used as a reference material for when we learn about volcanoes in our science curriculum. Now the following books I got from Amazon. This goes along with my language arts curriculum. It's a language support, and it basically gives like lesson practice and master copies of worksheets that you can photocopy and have your child do. But it goes along with the language arts book that I am using from McGraw-Hill. And then finally, this was recommended by another homeschool mom, I should say homeschool parent. And so, but she recommended this in one of her videos. I can't think who it is right now, but it's African American history, and then right here we have the African American history and journey of liberation workbook right here. Now this is, more so targeted towards like middle school and everything, but I'm going to try to incorporate lessons from it into unit study for my son to where he can understand it for his second grade level, but continue to use this book and possibly any other books I can find on African American history to use in correlation with this. But I just recently ordered the teacher's manual too, so I have the textbook, the workbook, and then I have the teacher manual coming in the mail to me any day now. So I am so excited to be using this, and to the homeschooling parents that use this or recommended this on their websites, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sure my son and myself and my husband we're going to learn a lot about African American history that we did not know. So that's all of our books that we got within the past month and also over the weekend. So anyways, so that's our books, and now let's get on to the good stuff.